Today, we decide once and for all who is the top chef at FlyQuest with our most intense culinary competition yet, the Extreme Cook-Off Challenge.
We start? Go, 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 go. Big. You copy me?
No?
Oh, too big, no?
Pancake is big? You're just hater.
It's really salty. Bro, they're all salty.
Really? Oh, last piece wrong, no?
Wrong.
This is a tablespoon.
Yeah.
So they might have been doomed to fail.
A tablespoon of salt. Not looking any different on the rip. Looking
I mean,
very,
that's honest.
very
I've been in
salty.
some Reddit threads, and a lot of FlyQuest fans are just dishing out tablespoons of salt right now.
Yeah, we're in game 3 here. Blue side still for FlyQuest. Champ select should be coming up any second now, but they got to make some changes because they are not looking good in this series right now.
That fan had a suggestion on Ivern. Thoughts?
No.
It is, okay, I'm not gonna push the environment joke.
I mean, there's other environment jokes. Started raining recently in LA tonight.
Thunder.
It's just starting, yeah, drizzling. Might be better for the cloud team or the tree team.
Bad omen.
All right, forget this. Dokla, talk to us about the actual game.
I just hope they ban Varus. Yeah,
There you go.
please. Woo! It's winnable.
It's
They have a
happening.
glimpse of hope now for FlyQuest. Yeah, I mean, to me, if going into this game,
I love the
it's
Lucian
0-0,
ban there, actually.
Same.
and just take out Varus. So now it's 0-0. They just
I mean-
gave away 2 cheese wins.
You did the Maokai. You gave them the Maokai analysis.
Yeah,
Pay attention to the games they played previously.
yeah,
Notice their Maokai Prado.
yeah. I mean, I think Varus it's like a key component for both things. Like Varus enables Maokai and vice versa. Like they both like synergize well with each other. So I think they need to take away one at least. So it's gonna be the Varus.
I think it also unlocks this Ben's champ pool to just be super counter pick heavy.
Yeah.
You get a lot of shoving lanes and stuff, and so now you're gonna play maybe a more honest lane phase with 2 scaling 80 carries and like more enchantery supports. We'll have to see.
This is super interesting to me because I love the Lucian ban. That was the lane, the most pushing kind of kill bot lane that we've seen Fly play. And then the Aphelios takeaway. Again, this is actually Prince's most played champion. So they're essentially trying to, it seems, force him onto the Zeri again.
Something that I'm interested in, they
Early
went
choice.
Tristana here, so that's early. It's worth noting. I was wondering if they're gonna go Jinx Thresh to take away the Thresh from the Aphelios, but it seems like they might just go double AD early if we're going Tristana, maybe because you want to lock in your AD pick as well.
And I wonder what they think about Cassante. I mean, Impact did have a good lane into it, but you know, Fudge still looked like pretty good on it. So I don't know if they want to take it away or what's going to happen.
Oh, it's your favorite, Dokla!
Oh, I've never seen this before, actually.
Dude.
What are the merits of Scion Blind?
It's generally a stable lane, and kind of sets up your team well. I mean, they have double tanks, so they'll need a lot of damage here coming from the rest of the picks. And I think it's like C9 has counterpick support here, which I think is the biggest thing. I think they're going to hold their counterpick here till 5, so it's probably most likely going to be a strong bot lane here for C9.
This is interesting to me because it feels like FlyQuest taking their entire top side of the map early is kind of saying, all right, Prince, I thought Prince was playing quite well last game for how far behind he got set in the team fights. I feel like they're saying, we're going to see as much of C9's draft as we can before going our bot lane to make sure that Prince is online, and then the rest of the team will have to deal with it because it's pretty late priority for bot lane in the current meta to go full 4-5 with it.
Yeah, I mean, pairings are gone. Like Lucian Nami is gone, so I'm not sure exactly what they're going to play. Maybe Zyra Khan. I mean, K-Lux is being taken away here, so not sure what the combination will
Jinx
be coming out.
Thresh?
I mean, it seems hard for them to have more than one pushing lane with the way the draft is right now.
Lulu
Cloud9
gone.
always drafting for pushing lanes because, as you mentioned, yeah, Cloud9 has
Yeah.
counterpick support. And then they're going to probably be able to get pushed on Scion with whatever Fudge takes.
Yeah, I mean, what I say is just Zyra Khan here, and they probably want to ban Thresh here for FlyQuest side.
Then he'll just probably end up going Renata.
I'll ban Cassante.
Yeah, if he has 2 supports, I can understand why they let him play either one, especially since Thresh hasn't been great compared to his other picks.
Yeah. I mean, they can also pivot towards like Lulu. I mean, they're going to pick their top hero on 400%, so we'll see. I'm not a fan of Renekton, but it synergizes well with the
Ooh,
Fiora.
Fiora.
Yeah, I like this a lot more.
It's a little tempting to go something that's tankier. Like if he does go the Renekton, it's going to be basically an all physical damage team comp on the side of FlyQuest.
Yeah.
Outside like the kind of Maokai damage or whatever. So I understand saying I'll pick something that can stack armor and become a really good frontline a little bit more than like the Fiora who's just going to prioritize.
I mean, I think
damage.
Fiora's not necessarily winning lane into Sion until like really late in the game. So I like the Renekton a lot more. It gives you, option to fight Rift, and I think with Fiora it's not doable. So I think it's much better.
10 seconds.
Renata?
4 pick. Ooh, Renata would be nice.
Blitzcrank!
Brom.
Wow.
Really?
I mean, that's a beefy team. That's a lot of CC.
Yeah, I mean,
when
both
you can do
teams
Braum
play
Sejuani.
similar. Yeah, they just 5v5 and they just have a Braum, so.
Yeah.
Very short range team though into double marksman with a fair amount of peel. They'll be on C9 to find good engages.
They're probably going to invade level 1 too. Like
This
Braum
is a
Sejuani
nutshell
level 1 is
Yeah,
crazy.
Braum is so good level 1.
I mean, they could also do like the Sion level 1 strat. I don't know if it will work against this, but I don't know. It depends how desperate they're feeling.
Do you like this draft right now for FlyQuest? You think it's a good bounce back on blue side, or you think they're still in trouble?
I kind of like it, but I just don't know how much of a lead mid lane will be able to get. I think top lane matchup is definitely favored for FlyQuest. Like, you'll be down early, but you can scale really well and outscale Renekton really quickly. So
3-0.
Yeah.
All right, Jazz calling the 3-0. FlyQuest hoping to live the scaling dream. That's going to do it for us here. Let's get back to the casters for the third game.
Welcome back, everybody. Here it is. Cloud9 on match point. FlyQuest gotta stop them. They took out the two things that we were most concerned about. They picked the Maokai away from C9, and they banned out that Varus that was absolutely throttling the bottom lane.
Absolutely. I think it's some intelligent adaptations here from FlyQuest. You can't run it back a third time. Expect it to really work out. So we'll see, how well they're going to be able to pilot this. I do think Vikla having huge amounts of pressure in mid lane is going to be key to this draft really working out, because they are very binary as far as the damage profile is concerned. It's pretty much all physical. Yeah, there's a Maokai, but he's not going to go full AP. That's been nerfed, pretty heavily. So it's basically full physical team comp.
Right.
And Vikla needs to play from ahead. He's got to create this advantage in this range versus melee matchup. And if you start to fall behind and Sylas can start to play aggressive onto you, this matchup, I've played it a fair bit, can start to turn really bad. So you need to create a large early lead to where Sylas can't threaten anything. Oh, Braum at level 1 is cracked, by the way. You do not want to face check that.
All right. FlyQuest is going deeper into enemy territory.
They
Sven loves the Pepega frog. It is the best.
This is funny because it's like, we know that FlyQuest isn't just camping that brush, but C9 doesn't. C9 would love to fight them, so they could have moved to Pixel, but they're not sure exactly where they are. So I think this is just going to be potentially nothing, but if he face checks, he's probably going to be dead.
No, okay. Oh, man. Oh,
if you watch that brush, you are dead. Braum level 1 is so strong.
Oh, they're ready to go in. They want to just jump over the wall after him. Nice 4-man decimating smash there from Impact. Both teams trading back and forth here a little bit. And look at the timer. It's 1 minute and 15 seconds. So if you go back to base and try to heal up, you are going to lose some of that early timing here out on the map.
I mean, it's actually a really big deal because they get flash off of Spica, but also, I talk about how Vikla needs to play this lane, from a place of power. You can essentially say he's starting down the lane 2 potions. Now Blabber, though, is going to be pushed out. He's trying to finish this. He can't.
Oh, I hope you like dairy, my friends. A little bit of cheese in the jungle, invading late, making sure they're catching him off guard. Love this from FlyQuest.
Yeah, I think it's really, really smart. Try to take C9 outside of their comfort zone. I don't think Blabber was expecting it at all. He's starting Raptors because that is a relatively safe camp to start leashless. He knew that Spica had no flash, so I don't think you're actually expecting the invade there. So now it's going to be a super late start on Wolves for Blabber. He's going to be warded out on blue because they did get that ward with their invade. Full knowledge of the Sejuani, he will be put back. We'll see if he wants to try to go into vertical jungling because he does have a ward on enemy Raptors. And Spica's fully clearing his top side, which he obviously doesn't know, but he knows he's at least going to lose 2 camps. Like, for sure, when you flash out of there, you're expecting your Raptors are gone and your red is gone. And it's up in the air if he's actually going to go for Krugs as well.
Fudge stepping up here, having hit level 2, wants to contest Impact on the wave a little bit, then backs off after he spins the spells, so Spica doesn't have a chance to jump in and try to interfere.
Exactly, and that's that other thing is, Renekton is supposed to be playing, aggressively in the early levels. That's really where you're trying to get that advantage against Sion, but when you lose your jungler out of the top side of the map, you know that Maokai could be coming behind you, so you actually can't play aggressive, in those early levels, and as a result, Fudge is going to fall behind as well. So, this is just such a good start. Blabber did not elect to go vertical jungling. He's actually praying that his Krugs are still alive. We know that they are gone. What just happened to that minion, by the way?
I didn't see. I was looking at
I don't know if that was like a spectator bug, but I was looking at my screen, not the program, so this may have shown differently, but a minion literally disappeared from the screen when I was watching, so I've never seen that before.
He's tired of this. He's having to, he gets to spawn, walk into lane, some dude beats him upside the head for $14. He doesn't want to do that anymore.
Yeah, so I don't know if that actually was something that you guys saw, or if it was just on my screen, but that was weird. We'll find out what the pause is for. We'll let you guys know.
Maybe it's the minion.
It's possible. Yeah, maybe the minion pause. He's like, whoa, guys, fell through the world here.
Hold on, guys. We encountered a terrain mesh issue.
But early start, great for FlyQuest. And I think that's actually so important just for a confidence builder. When you have the games go like how the last 2 games went, where you were kind of out of it pretty darn quick. You didn't have a lot really going for you. Just having a really strong early level 1, you force some flashes, Sion gets prio top, Maokai gets prio in the jungle. All of a sudden, you're starting to feel a little bit of hopium.
Yeah, you're at least feeling like you're not behind the 8 ball from the very beginning of the game like all these previous ones. We have reports that there was some sort of lag in game. Maybe that's what caused that minion to disappear, just the game not knowing what the hell to do with itself. So while we continue investigating that, Isaac and I are just going to chill here. Yeah. So anyway, what's it like being able to smell stuff now that you got your brand new nose?
It's kind of crazy because unironically, my whole life, I can never breathe through both my nostrils. So it's a whole new world. Pretty life-changing, not going to lie.
What's your favorite new smell?
I don't know.
It's 5 minutes into the game. I don't have anything to talk about, so I'm going to talk about this. What's your favorite new smell?
I'm not sure. I smelled some really tasty barbecue the other day. Yeah. You know, I was walking down the street and someone was grilling, I think, on their balcony or something like that. I was like, damn.
I've heard that in North Carolina they got hella barbecue too.
Would you like to go get some barbecue with me?
I'm finals. I am down.
There you go.
Get some barbecue.
It's a date.
We'll have to do on rehearsal day. We'll go to rehearsals and do whatever we have to do at rehearsals,
and then we'll go eat
barbecue, and then that's a great precursor to a successful finals week.
It is. Yeah, we'll be revved up, lots of energy, ready to go. Potentially, could be seeing. We're going to see one of these teams for sure at finals. Well, actually, we're going to see both these teams because even if they lose here, they're still guaranteed top 3. So they'll both actually be at the finals weekend. Hopefully, we'll see some of the fans here. Fans have been really good today.
Yeah.
Are any of you guys going to finals? Maybe? Oh, I see some nods. I see some waving.
There we go.
There's a sign that says, I could see us better than Prince. I'm going to give that one a doubt.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to question my ping now. Maybe a Papega frog.
Yeah, maybe.
We got to make sure it stays topical.
I like the Silas thumbs down. It's like, ooh.
I respect the audacity.
The bravado.
Like, yeah. That's the kind of trash talk the LCS
That's a confident crowd.
I really enjoy that kind. Maybe that's
confidence is half the battle, but the other half is actually being good at the game, which I'm not sure if he has.
Well, I mean, look, I just want if every international event we went to, we just talked like out of control shit about how badly we were going to slam everybody else. I wouldn't even mind if we 0-18. Like just become the dudes.
I mean, I would, but sure, yeah.
No, that's just you just got to roll with it. You just got to follow your heart. Brain not required. You only have enough blood to go to
You're
1.
0-17 in the pre-match interview.
Yeah.
We're going to stomp these clowns.
Yeah, we're going to stomp these guys. Look, the first 17 we were just trolling a little bit. Number 18 is where we flip the switch, right? Like, just give me that kind of
17
bravado.
games to give your opponents false confidence.
We're going to channel the energy of Sign Guy.
But instead, wouldn't it be nicer to go 8-2-0?
It would.
Yeah, that would be nice.
It would.
Maybe this is the year. See, for me, the hope springs eternal, Flowers.
Yeah.
This is our year.
Okay.
Cloud9's looking good.
Cloud9's looking good.
FlyQuest was looking really good until these 2 games.
Was looking really good. The past couple of games have been a little sussy, but hopefully they can recover it a little bit. Hopefully they can recover it a little bit. Avali's over there. What's up, Avali? Can you even hear us? Yeah, hey, Avali, hello. Remember, you can, I can't read that, dude. You're across the what? I can't read it.
Oh, the kid put it on camera.
Oh.
FlyQuest, do something.
Hey, FlyQuest, do something. Okay, that's...
So where you're poking the thing with a stick?
Avali's...
do something.
Avali's sign...
Please win on God, no cap,
hey,
for real,
FlyQuest, please win on God, no cap, for real.
And I think it said all facts, no printer at the bottom as well.
What's the rest of the signs? I hope each team has fun.
Those I actually like those signs. That's a classic.
Yeah, no, that's the old school.
Anyway else.
Okay. The co-stream booth.
Broadcast was pretty confident, you know. I don't know if I would have wanted to see all of those signs. You never know. With Avali, you're rolling the dice there.
Yeah, well, I mean, they did tell her not to make any more of the signs like she did the first time she was on the cast.
She's been warned.
Yeah, Vicla's new nickname is not here to stay, we learned. So I figure her signs are probably a bit more under control
PG.
this time. But, oh, speaking of letters before G's, we actually have 2 of those going head-to-head tomorrow, too, with EG versus GG.
Yep.
Now, that one does have a bit of context for who gets to go to Raleigh and who has to stay at home just, you know, eating chicken wings on the couch watching the games. So whichever one of those teams wins, they get to play the loser of today's series in our penultimate match on April 8th.
I mean, the other team could go, but they have to buy a ticket.
What'd you say? I had a producer.
I said the other team could go, but they have to buy a ticket.
Ooh, that's the worst insult, too. It's like, oh, yeah, you could have gone here for free, but fork it over. We actually do have a little bit. We went and talked to Vulcan and Stixxay about their upcoming match. Check it out.
Yeah, I mean, GG has, like, good moments, good games sometimes. They had this, like, 2-week period in the middle of the split where they legit looked like one of the top teams in the region.
The win versus Hunter Thieves was a pretty big morale and confidence boost for us, so I'm going to go ahead and say that we can win the whole thing.
We can't know whether or not they'll be able to find that form again for when we play them.
I think we match up pretty well versus them, just across all the lanes. Similar to us, they kind of had a downward trend towards the end of the split, so I think they're more likely to be a bit more inconsistent.
I don't think their balling is that, like, they're not that, they're good. They're pretty solid. So we need to be on top of our game, but I think, I just think against any team that we play, if we're able to kind of overcome the hurdles that we have or how we run it down sometimes or have these mistakes in team fights, I feel like we can take on anyone, and GG is the weakest team, so we just must get past them. So we'll start with them.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Okay, you got talked into it. Yep. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Still in the pause, investigating a little bit more. I'm not 100%. I have details. I don't know if I'm allowed to share them yet.
I heard they're chrono breaking.
I
don't know who told me that.
I heard there might be a...
They're preparing to chrono break, but they're not doing it yet. I am just like throwing out
This
stuff.
is why I didn't say it, because they might...
Misinformation.
I'm a fan of transparency, and currently we are confused.
Oops, did I start
We're not confused. You are confused, Jet.
Transparently, I'm confused.
I'm a big fan of misinformation here. Oh, I see a slight fire on stage. I'm transparently misinforming you that there might be a chrono break. We'll have to see. I can see someone running on stage with an fire extinguisher.
Now, I don't know how this pause favors C9 or FlyQuest, because, you know, FlyQuest could be tilted, and they could be even more tilted, and C9 are kind of just like chilling. And they could get tilted, ruin their momentum, so I'm not sure who favors here.
In the name of transparency, both teams are ready to go. Actually, the chrono break was offered. It was the teams agreed that they didn't need the chrono break, so we should be getting back into the game quickly. I haven't been told that we need to toss yet. Transparently, I've been told we can toss. Thank you for the transparency.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
That was the most neutral, good caster curse I've ever seen. They said we needed to chrono break, so now we don't have to chrono break.
They're just making stuff up.
And we avoid pauses. So let's get
go on
back.
the internet and lie like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I'll take it back.
Lots of people's favorite pastime. Now let's go ahead and see how this game is going to shake out from here. Blabber was just passing through the top side, going to drop down a ward. As M&S goes after Vicla here in the mid lane, but Vicla can get himself the full bomb there with the explosive shot, making sure that he would be ready to go with another rocket jump to disengage. Remember, every time you fully proc the explosive shot, you get your rocket jump cooldown back.
Yep, but when both players actually get low, if you are, low on that Tristana, I do think it favors the Sylas. You can put that all in. The Kingslayer obviously very valuable, both when he is low and when his opponents are low. So Tristana just has to bounce that wave, reset immediately. It's going to TP right back to try to keep the pressure on. M&S can go back to base as well. Is going to be down farm, that is expected in this kind of a matchup. And now it's just about how far can Vicla really push this. He didn't elect to buy any potions. He's going for more of, I would consider a bit of a greedy buy here. To not actually purchase any potions himself. Exactly, went Cull, went Longsword. But if he can't be punished on this, he's going to have a lot of combat power. So it's going to be up to M&S, up to Blabber to try to put a little bit of pressure here on Vicla and not allow him just be fully in that comfort zone.
And the nature of this draft, combined with the way the level 1 played out with those summoner spells being blown and the follow-up invade from FlyQuest's top laner and jungler, means this game is guaranteed to look different from the previous 2 in that Cloud9 will not just be definitively driving the car throughout the early game.
Yeah, that ward actually, though, spotted Blabber. He doesn't know it because he actually pink warded Pixel, and at the same time, Fudge is in trouble top.
Fudge flashing back, trying to get distance, wants to get out of the way of the decimating smash, slice and dice. It feels so nice. The man's out of there, and M&S wants to chase Vikla further, but Vikla's gonna have backup in a second. Not fast enough. The Tristana is dead.
That was warded. How do you die to that gank?
Let him know, Isaac, but not yet, because we got more fights breaking out now. Decimating smash slams into the ground, but it's not going to find any targets. M&S jumps right back in. This silence is a difference maker here.
Yeah, that is such a big mistake from Vikla. You have to play ahead here, but they're going aggressive on bot side.
Bottom side, C9 has been dominating this 2v2 the whole day. Prince and Ayla disengaging here now.
Yeah, trade of sums, but heavily in C9's favor. Both sums off Ayla. Cleanse is traded on AD, so double summoner advantage here for the supports on the C9 side. But again, I highlighted that ward. That ward actually tracked Blabber. He walked through.
He did the right thing.
So here it is again. He walks over the ward. He is spotted. It's literally pinged, so they're talking about it in comms. And he's still, is just playing too far up here. Vikla is greeting out, trying to push in that wave, but his jungler is showing top, so there's no fear from C9 to engage on that. That is just greedy play from Vikla. Ends up having to blow his flash. He's trying to retreat up towards top side, but M&S knows my cooldowns are coming back up. Yours are not. Gets that kill onto him. That is a massive mistake here from Vikla. And not one you can really have to afford here when you're this far down, because now this is what starts happening. As I said, in this matchup, when you get put behind, when the Sylas can threaten all-ins, all of a sudden, now what do? You don't have enough life still early on to actually sustain these sorts of trades. The Sylas can just jump on you over and over and over. I have been this losing Tristana. It does not feel good.
And for any of you guys who were playing way back in the day when AP Tristana was a viable build and her E was that stupid bleed DOT thing, remember that was a pretty uninteractive thing because of how powerful the ratios on the ulti and that E were. When Sylas steals away Buster Shot, it's a cannonball.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of all-in threat. I will say M&S doesn't have the greatest ultis to steal this game. Threshbox can be okay. Maokai ult is the big one that I think you're going to want to steal in most of these fights. Yeah. The stolen Maokai ultimate can be really valuable. Especially Vikla's got to be really careful about it because he is not playing cleanse. There's 2 ADs, there's only 1 lantern, so there is going to be a threat of that. And I think Sven, is going to be very powerful on this Braum pick. Braum versus double AD can be very difficult to actually punch through. You're going to have Sejuani, a Renekton, and Braum just throwing up the wall here to try to stop so much of this damage coming through. But Spica has not been spotted, and there's no cleanse on Berserker, so if he actually gets flash rooted,
oh, nice! They pull him right back into the chompers. FlyQuest finally finds success in the bottom lane.
A great hook there from Ayla, but that looked like a bit of a miscommunication. I think that Berserker thought Sven was going to tank the hook and then W back to him after it. So Berserker does not actually flash that hook, thinking it's going to hit Sven. Instead, it hits him. He has no cleanse. And what would have been, I think, a free walk out there from Cloud9 ends up being a kill given over, and a kill given over to Brince, which is huge, because they're also losing now the minions at the tower. Was a CS advantage for C9, but now FlyQuest, for the first time it feels like in this series, having an edge in that bot lane.
Hey man, if you're FlyQuest, you'll take it. Stopping this from becoming the same story as the previous couple of games. As M&S, once again, scrapping with Vikla. Both junglers showing up nearby. Remember, Spica does not have his ulti. It was used in the bottom lane play. Blabber just only recently hitting level 6, does have his. C9 thinking about the possibility of a contest here. Sven has made his way up, but considering FlyQuest brought up both Prince and Ayla, C9 know they're at a man disadvantage. They want to walk up still. Spica's going to be tanking here on the front. Sven goes for the Glacial Fissure. They find the knock-up onto 2. Fudge with a nice bit of damage down into Prince. Needs a little more to guarantee the kill. Doesn't quite get it. The stolen ulti from the Maokai chasing him down. A double kill over to M&S. And the difference is made in mid lane.
Yeah, M&S getting that prio in mid. Tristana at low health is so much weaker than the Sylas at low health, in this matchup. M&S, able to punish gets that stolen Maokai ultimate. Now 3 kills over to MNS. He is going to be massive. Tristana is going to be relegated to sitting back and just trying to farm, which is not the position you want to be in this kind of a matchup here. And here it is. Look at Spica. Spica's just pulling to the back of the pit because he knows that MNS is actually coming for his ult. But he gets that stolen ulti anyway. He gets straight in onto Ayla, takes him down immediately. The very tip of the stolen Maokai ultimate catches here. I think Prince would have died eventually anyway because the cooldowns would have come back up for Fudge and Blabber. But it's even better to give it there to MNS. And you know, Zven unfortunately grabs that last kill. Otherwise, it would have been MNS with 4 kills here early on. He's working towards that Rod of Ages. Already has 7 stacks on the Darkseal. So he's going to be tanky, has a lot of AP behind it as well.
And that's the kind of comms that you want to see, where MNS knows, okay, just fling out the ulti, immediately refocus your attention to help your support, and guarantee you get the extra kill onto Vikla there at the end too. C9 plus 2,000 gold, 10 minutes into the game, off the back of what was the best early game thus far for FlyQuest by a significant margin.
Absolutely, and the other thing, you know, in this is, yes, Sion was bot, so it's not that you actually just lost all that farm down to bot side, but the big problem, nice sidestep from Vikla. Yeah, if that chain connected, it would have been really bad, but, you know, nice little bit of sidestepping there from Vikla. But either way, you know, so Sion caught some of the farm bot, but that allowed Berserker to actually be picking up CS. Well, Prince was over at the Herald and dying, right? So it is Berserker actually up in gold now, and easy little show up there. Bot lane from Blabber forces the ult out of Impact, which is good to get.
Good timing there from Impact. As soon as he sees Berserker doing the animation to call down the stun with the mark of the Gravitum, he's immediately ready to ult and get himself away. This also provides an opportunity for Prince and Ayla to get some plate money up here on the top lane tier 1 of C9. Remember that Spica does still have the Eye of the Herald. They can summon that up and use it here as well. I think they want to get a little more natural damage onto the turret here beforehand, just so they can get as many plates as possible. Fudge is going to use Dominus just to force himself forward and clear as much of this out as he can. Herald's going to get a charge, but now it's cleared out. All they get is the initial contact damage. They can't force anything further.
Yeah, not going to get anything further there. MNS is going to have that base stopped. Is on a ward. If he jumps in, though, if Vikla jumps in, Zven is there. And Zven is actually really smart about this. He's actually waiting and baiting
It's a bait the entire time!
Oh.
Vikla's still trying to get out. MNS chasing. Vikla's cool, but MNS was waiting. He knew exactly what Vikla wanted to do.
Well, I just love the presence of mind there from Zven. It's such a smart play. It doesn't end up really amounting to anything, but he paused just outside of the vision range of that ward, knowing that Pixel Brush could be warded, was likely warded. Just really intelligent heads-up stuff to know the exact vision range there and to play around it, because as soon as he jumps in, you know that the bomb's going to be there, and all of a sudden, Vikla jumps in, immediately has to flash out. He's now down TP. MNS is going to hold his because Berserker has rotated mid, so great lane assignments here from C9. They do need to send at least an extra member bot to not just give over free plates to Jinx, but instead FlyQuest is going to move for this dragon fight, and C9 is moving as well. You can see Fudge already running down.
So we've got the ulti ready to cast for Spica. MNS does not have his ulti cooldown to fire one back, but C9 has pushed FlyQuest away. MNS being nearby, such a massive threat considering how powerful this Sylas is right now at this point in the game. 3 kills, as you already stated earlier. So now it's C9 with a 2-0 Drake advantage.
Yeah, that's really big, and Fudge was already down to mid lane. So yes, Impact is going to get a plate top, but you know, the move from Fudge, well worth it in this case, and FlyQuest wasn't feeling confident to actually call down Impact with the TP or to bring him down on that ulti, so it is going to be another advantage there to C9. You know, the early minutes going pretty well for FlyQuest, and the level 1 going really well for FlyQuest. You know, the kill great for Prince. They're in an okay spot, but again, you can just see C9 are straight up outplaying them across this series. They're executing better in these small moments. You know, they are getting a lot more, I feels like, out of MNS than we've been seeing from Vikla, and that has been one of the key differences in the series.
So I want to address something right now because it is specifically something we said we didn't expect to see. Spica is playing this Maokai very differently from what we saw from Blabber. The inventory shows a Giant's Belt and a Blasting Wand, so we are going to see the AP style of Maokai that we got to see from Spica earlier on in the split, back when he was picking Maokai and Amumu all the time, creating a bit of an magic damage threat because of what you mentioned, where the entire damage profile for the rest of the team is physical.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at the inventories and you see people already starting to pick up armor, right? Armor, tabbies. You know, there's going to be armor up here. There's already tabbies down there. It's going to be a lot of armor picked up. So I do think it's totally fine to do this. I don't think it's going to be full AP like Liandry's,
Oh,
Lens.
Prince, he gets interrupted. Does he manage to get away? The Glacial Fissure sets it up, and M&S serves a super mega death rocket right back in his face.
Damn, M&S pulls him right out of the lantern with the chains. It's 2 chains, baby, but 1 is better. The Cloud9 mid laner having a hell of a game here in game number 3. That was clean, but yeah, I think we're definitely seeing Demonic. I don't think we're gonna see full AP. It's not gonna be Leandries. My guess is it is just gonna be, Radiant coming out next as the Mythic and just a little bit of AP, or Spica is gonna be absolutely paper here, but we'll see what his decision is.
If M&S keeps doing this, everybody is paper, and the Sylas just becomes the sawmill.
Yeah.
He is taking over this game, stepping up in a moment where they can secure a 3-0 victory over an opponent that, honestly, I think most people are expecting to be who would meet them in the finals. A lot of people were looking at this as that kind of a preview of what a likely final would be, but C9 are making it look not even any sort of a contest. There's the Rift Herald going over C9's way. FlyQuest were thinking about fighting it, and now they're ready to go in. That is a valuable target. That is M&S. He's trying to get away, but the shutdown on the DOT from Demonic Embrace of Spica gets the kill. Now FlyQuest are going to put more bodies in the ground. Beautifully done, beautifully found, beautifully executed. FlyQuest are back in the game.
Massive picks there. The shutdown going, I believe, to Prince as well, potentially. You said it was the Demonic Embrace bot, but he still gets a couple kills there onto the Jinx. That is huge. Getting those picks after the Herald goes over to Cloud9, it was just starting to feel like this one was going to be all Cloud9 here, slowly going more and more in their favor. But those kills are massive, though. Berserker getting aggressive.
Oh, man. Prince is going to want that one back. Right on the back of a big turnaround, he gives over a freebie to Berserker in the 1v1.
And that's a shutdown that he gives over to Berserker there. Prince, walking over mid lane. Rare that you see a straight up solo kill between the ADs in a position like this, but Prince feeling confident. We can watch it one more time. Cloud9 doing a good job securing this, and then M&S just walking a little bit too far forward. Great job from Impact. He's the one who sets it up. Smash over the wall. They hit the zap. Flash forward here from Ayla after the initial kill to try to get another. Flashes in, lands the hook onto Sven, who tried to flash out, couldn't avoid it. 3 kills going the way of FlyQuest was massive for their chances. But the shutdown going back to Berserker here after, it's just a little bit of laziness. And it looked like he had cleansed the whole time, which is the weirdest part to me, because when I watch, sometimes the spectator can be wrong, but when I watched live, I thought he had cleansed as well. I'm sure someone can maybe tweet us or producers can let us know. But I think he had cleansed, and he could have just cleansed the root and just walked out. It just felt like he was completely underestimating the damage there from Berserker. A little bit of disrespect, and he gives over a freebie.
You saw the slight smile on his face, then shaking his head. He recognizes that was a dumb mistake. I shouldn't have gave that one away.
Yeah, so I did get confirmation. He did have cleanse, so he could have just cleansed that probably and just walked out, but...
Oh boy, that tree is about to get chopped. Blabber tanking up the damage from Prince the other way around. And they leave the last hit for Berserker. And Mr. Isaac, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that timer in the top left corner of our screen says 10 seconds till soul point for C9, and FlyQuest jungler just got picked off.
Yeah, that's rough. And with M&S having the stolen Maokai ultimate, again, this is the primo ult. That's the one he wants for every single important fight. There's just no real way to actually, approach that. Vikla's very far up as well. Vikla's looking dead.
Let's see how dead he is. Maokai ulti out.
Very.
Maokai ulti connects. Everything else connects. Vikla jumps the other way, trying to buy a little bit of time. Meanwhile, the Herald clears out the tier 1 turret. Cloud9 clears out Vikla. Back in mid lane. Berserker's just gonna 1v2 him. He does find both. Holy hell, he's good! Now Impact has to try to get away as M&S and Fudge are ready to clean up the mess. M&S trying to get a little bit more distance here. God bless! Berserker's just real good!
There has been a debate all split long. Which AD is better? How about back-to-back solo kills from Berserker onto Prince, and even a 1v2? I believe both of those were solo kills from Berserker here, making the FlyQuest bot lane look absolutely silly. Cloud9 get free soul point. Vikla gives him a freebie, an easy kill there on the bot side. And yeah, this is just a straight up 1v2. Ayla walking through, goes into stopwatch. Berserker just gale forces right in the face of Prince. Had already used the white gun ulti there, stacking up those chakrams immediately, gets the double kill, forces the stopwatch. Yeah, that is how you do it.
Zero emotion. The man is a machine.
Cold-blooded.
This dude's the Terminator, man. He just has a mission and he's going to accomplish it. The details don't matter. 4-2-0. Scores as dank as the gameplay. Woo. This guy is saying it's not just the M&S show in Game 3.
I mean, he's got an IE completed again. You know, you flash back a couple minutes to right after that Herald. You snapshot what the gold was between those two 80s at that point, and then you go forward a couple minutes here. You wouldn't believe how quickly it turned around with no help from his team. Berserker makes it happen. And FlyQuest really going to be feeling the pressure now because IE is already done for Berserker here at 19 minutes. Gale Force IE has the tier 2 boots upgraded, has the protection of the Braum, the Sejuani, everyone around him, and Sylas is Gigafed as well, so what do you do?
And the problem is, because of the nature of the drafts, because of the armor stacking capabilities of the C9 frontline, Prince is not even able to answer with a second item Infinity Edge of his own. He has to go for LDR second. Now Blabber's the target here in the front. He's going to be bursted down, you would think. Berserker just finds another one. Vicla's gone, but Prince gets one back. Blabber gets sniped down by the Super Mega Death Rocket, but M&S is coming in from the side. Impact is left all alone. He'll flash over the wall to stay alive. C9 makes it a 1-for-1 as FlyQuest retreats.
Okay, they're not going to go for Baron with Blabber dead here. Don't want to do any sort of super risky play. No need to. Fudge way too far forward. He's going to try to turn it around.
Fudge way too far ahead, but the team has his back. M&S gets one, and Fudge gets away. Now Zven and M&S have to make sure they can exit safely, and Zven will get on out with the Hex Gate.
Wow, Cloud9 playing with such confidence here. Both their carries are just monstrously fed here. Vikla is not having a good game. You know, made a lot of mistakes early, has been kind of just chain dying, and when you're playing behind on Tristana mid, it is just such a useless pick. You don't have any utility to really try to turn things around. They look for this engage, they get onto Blabber. Blabber smartly tanks this up for Berserker. He knows he is not the important member here. And as soon as Vikla jumps in, it's just an instant go button there from Berserker. R with the Infernum, Gale Force in, swap over to Sniper form. They're able to actually just finish him off there immediately. And then Fudge stepping far forward here. This got really aggressive. Ayla, great positioning around the corner there to land the hook, and you start thinking, all right, well, Fudge just gave over a freebie. But then in comes M&S, flash forward, stolen threshold, finishes off Spica, is able to walk it out as well. And Berserker, again, just no emotion there. Cloud9, they're going to start bearing up here. They had that late kill onto Spica. The TP's coming up here from Vikla. They could turn.
FlyQuest do not want to give away a 22-minute Baron. Fudge has flash, but he's also got a bomb stuck on his head. Now they fling out the Maokai ulti. The Baron is not low enough to try to secure for either side, but you've got Impact on the front line, soaking up damage. Prince is killed. Berserker found him for the 4th frickin' time this game as Spica tries to escape and Fudge continues running forward. Zven will finally die there to the DOT of Spica, and Cloud9 are right back onto the Baron. It just keeps getting worse for FlyQuest. The AD carry gap is huge.
Yeah, I've got 2 words for this series. It is bot gap. Cloud9. Zven and Berserker have just been making fools out of Ayla and Prince in this one, looking so good in back-to-back-to-back games. Really taking it to a whole nother level here. And even with the change-ups in the draft, which I do think are good, Cloud9 is just executing so much better. They're playing better as a team. They're enabling their carries better. And they're in such a strong position here. We are 40 seconds away from Soul here. And it is Hextech Soul, very, very strong. One of the premier ones.
I mean, the previous 2 episodes here in this series, we talked about, oh man,
last time
Infernal
on Cloud9
Soul
versus FlyQuest.
Yeah, last time on Cloud9 versus FlyQuest. FlyQuest screwed up, and Cloud9 were able to take the soul. This time around, same thing, except now they get a better soul. It's a problem, man. FlyQuest are just never being able to stabilize.
Though this is a bit much.
Yeah, this should be a kill. If this is not a kill, something is egregiously wrong. Berserker didn't hurt a lot.
Oh, and the TP is another death. Give it over. This is bad.
M&S just chain inting down here. I don't really know what the hell the TP was.
And now they lose Soul.
Oh! All right. Okay. All right, I'll eat those words a little bit. M&S at least makes it a 1-for-1, but it still doesn't feel great because you lose the soul for this. This was such a bad moment to have that error.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as we're singing their praises, Berserker really, that was just such a foolish error, so far up there. Blabber wants to try to stay around and steal it. We'll see if they can make it happen. Vikla is here, but he's very weak.
Okay. FlyQuest in a 4v3. Both the enemy carries are dead. This is such a bizarre situation for C9 to opt into. Where's the damage? Sejuani, Renekton, and Braum? This is stupid. What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I think the hope is just that Vikla is so weak that there's no damage on the other side either, right? So they're trying to force their way in. They're willing to actually risk giving up a kill for the potential to steal the soul, right? And I think that is the answer there. But at the end of the day, they just go over another kill here and lose that dragon, which is also an objective bounty. So a really bad couple minutes there from Cloud9. I honestly have no clue why Berserker was that far up with the dragon spawned at the tier 2 with no vision. It's not like he has the Thresh on his team to be behind him and actually get him out of there. So definitely a big error there from Cloud9, but they're still in a good spot here. They've got to collect themselves a little bit and clean it up.
Somebody give me a fire extinguisher, Isaac. I need to flame the hell out of that play. That was just every decision made by Cloud9 there was more questionable than the last one. Why was Berserker at the tier 2? Why is M&S killing himself, going in, trying to save him in a 2 versus 5? Why is 3 meatballs trying to make a salad fighting against the whole enemy team next to the Drake in the bottom side river?
Sometimes you just having to have a little bit of a happy game.
I'm not happy. Well, FlyQuest are happy, though. Yeah. They're at least glad that they've been given an opportunity to maybe get a foot back in the door here in this series. Cloud9 still in control, like you've said. FlyQuest still have quite a mountain to climb as C9 moves into the FlyQuest jungle. They're placing down the wards. They're clearing away the buffs. They want to continue moving this game forward the way they were before the past couple of months.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is a blip in the radar, so to speak. Look at that chunk, though. Prince very strong here. Even Gale forcing in a bit much because Vikla's full health.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is the XU damage, but Berserker's just playing so confidently. You know, knows that he has a massive lead and is really trying to push it to the maximum here to get the most out of it. You know, chunks out Prince, pushes him back to base, chunks out Vikla, making it difficult to defend these tier 2s. And he is very close to his LDR. You know, going to be working towards a Bloodthirster, potentially wants to grab that first as well. He's in a great spot here, and as long as Cloud9 can continue executing as they have throughout this series, they're in prime position to sweep FlyQuest, guarantee their spot in the grand finals, and that is going to be a really big deal for them.
FlyQuest still have a chance to fight back in this one. You can see Prince working towards that Infinity Edge, nearly has everything put together. He's got the parts, just needs the money for the duct tape to put them all together. Then he'll have that, plus the LDR, plus the Kraken Slayer. But for me, it's all about the positioning of this guy. 6 deaths on the Jinx this game. He's been caught out, he's been found.
They were weird ones too.
Yeah, a lot of them have just been getting exploded by the damage of Berserker. So Prince's positioning needs to return to that immaculate form that we've seen him demonstrate earlier on in this play.
I mean, three items is great on Jinx, and it is a really big power spike. You know, I don't want to diminish that, but the problem is, you know, he's down not only a full item and a half to Berserker, he's also down 2 levels, which is even more stats there that you're going to be behind. So, you know, when you're comparing these 2 ADs, you know, when you add in that XP difference, the gold difference that is worth that, it's going to be like 3K plus, really, the difference between the 2 players.
Interesting, too, we have double Locket of the Iron Solari on Cloud9 with the Braum and Sejuani both looking to make sure that they can protect from some of the AoE burst that FlyQuest can throw out. I feel like you probably drop 1 Locket when you see the Maokai ulti coming in. You drop the other Locket if you see a Jinx rocket coming at you or a big burst in a team fight somewhere. So C9 really just trying to survive some of that burst potential that might be one of the only ways Fly can win a fight.
I actually think it's really smart. You know, Blabber, your role in this game, you know, you got put behind level 1. It is just enable the carries in every single way that you can. I wouldn't be surprised to see him even go like Redemption 3rd or something like that, because his job is really just keep Berserker and M&S safe at the expense of yourself. That is really the only thing that matters. He gets a giant belt, so maybe going towards Anathemas or a different direction there. Definitely has a lot of options, but they want to keep their backline safe. And it's even going to be a Randuin's, it's looking like, for Sven. So, you know, in most cases, supports don't have enough gold, but because they are in such a good position, you know, he is going to have this Randuin seconds, which is going to have incredible value against Vikla and Prince. You know, it's so physical damage heavy here. This Braum is going to be a brick wall.
Oh, they go in after M&S. They want the Sylas. Vikla is dumping damage into him.
Though.
But now C9 is already on the bear. The Maokai ulti is flown out, and it's beautifully stolen away by by Spica to try to save the day for FlyQuest. Berserker goes golden, and C9 wants to fight back, but they're in trouble. Berserker gets one, but Prince gets one back. C9 fight him off, and they're looking to pick up most of these Barons that got stolen away. Impact does not have a flash. He should fall here, but good lord, it takes a long time to get him there with Berserker dead.
Yeah, they get the kill, but the steal is the story here. Spica keeping FlyQuest chances alive, but the big problem, look at the Soul spawn. Spica's gonna be dead for it, so it's guaranteed Soul here for Cloud9. Yes, they lose the Baron, but they still get way more out of it at the end of the day. That is a tier 2 tower taken top lane. That is 4 kills. That is Soul all going to Cloud9. So the Baron stops it from being game ending, but Cloud9 still gonna be really happy with this result. And we can watch it one more time. Berserker in the pit, white and red guns just bursting it down. They try to hard engage onto M&S. He's able to sidestep though and avoid it. And then they just preempt the fight here. Spica going in. You can see that Baron was getting really, really low. They try to actually use the Sejuani ult to buy time, just burst it down, but flash in over the wall. Q Smite there comes through from the Maokai, is able to steal it away. That was massive. And then Berserker here trying to get aggressive, steps forward with the ulti to try to hit the backliners instead of using on that front line. It's a bit of a whiff, not able to connect, and then because of that, he's very far forward, has to go into the stopwatch, and both of the FlyQuest marksmen use that time in the stasis to get up on top of Berserker. And even though he is monster fed and can take one down with him, he was always slated to die from that position.
And the thing is, with 4 dead, the only one left with the Baron buff on FlyQuest is Ayla.
Yeah.
So it's not like they can try to reinforce 2 lanes with more durable minions to stop some of the push from C9. If Ayla dies, which is something that's very easy to have happen if he's trying to ward defensively, keep Cloud9 out of here, then the Baron is entirely gone. You can see up there in the top right, Baron power play currently sitting at +6.
Yeah.
And it starts out at +1500 for taking the buff. So not the ideal scenario again.
One. Ooh.
It mostly just amounts to what you said. It stopped the game from ending right there.
Yep.
But C9 took objectives. They took a couple of the turrets. They ended up taking that Hex Soul, and FlyQuest have to continue trying to find some of these fights. I think one of the critical parts about the last one was Vikla and Ayla finding M&S at the start and forcing him out before he could do a whole lot, making it so he wasn't synced up with the rest of the team. And without an angle like that, it's going to get tougher and tougher for FlyQuest.
It absolutely is. And Vikla's just not going to be useful in this game, right? He's not picking up any of the kills in the team fights. He had a really poor early game. He's so far away from his IE. And at this point in the game, 31 minutes in, when armor is heavily stacked on the other team, to just be on BT plus Kraken, you know, and no LDR in sight, no IE in sight, he has no damage at all. So you're basically now relegated to a one-threat team. It's Prince versus the world, right? You know, you have 3 frontliners essentially with the Thresh, the Maokai, and the Scion. Vikla's like a big range minion, and then you got Prince. So it's tough, man. It's all up to Prince, and that means that the job becomes very, very easy for C9. Guess who you have to stop, right? Guess who you're looking for with that Flash Renekton stun. M&S is trying to pressure in the fight. It's all going to be about Prince, and even if you can't kill him at the start, if you can just keep him out of the fight, Berserker is going to run over your team.
It's difficult, man, when the Tristana is this far behind. Executioner's calling in the inventory, has to work on a little bit of that Grievous because he's afraid of the lifesteal powers of both the Sylas and the Aphelios. As Berserker ready to join up with the rest of his team. As long as Berserker doesn't get picked off, C9 know they have an incredibly powerful carry to play around. M&S on this Sylas, also sitting on 5 items. This guy is incredibly strong, has the stolen Tristana ulti, has the Cosmic Drive, so much ability haste here to guarantee that he's spamming out those spells. Level 18, you've got the final level ulti. Sylas is going to be grabbing Tristana ults and Maokai ults left and right.
Yep, absolutely. It does make it really, really difficult. You know, and even in the later stages, you can steal that Thresh ultimate and just use that as a peel, you know, against these this front line that's trying to push forward onto Berserker. Can be actually quite effective. You know, it does have a decent AP ratio on it as well. But of course, Maokai ult is that primo one that you want. And it looks like Cloud9 is just going to continue playing around objectives. Baron in 130, Elder in 230, continue to set up and try to dominate the objective game as they have all series long here. You know, utilize those objectives to draw in FlyQuest before they're ready to fight. Looks like it's going to be Navori third for Vikla, but I don't think he's going to have time to finish this before either of those major objectives actually complete.
And this game has changed so much since the great screw-up of bottom lane, right?
Yep.
Before that, Cloud9 was just playing with all the confidence in the world. They were shoving up, they were taking over everything. And while they are still in control of Summoner's Rift, everything has been drastically slowed down. Now they're waiting on objectives. They're not just forcing fights because they're so far ahead, they know they can force them anywhere. That really was a massive blow to the Cloud9 war machine that they still have not fully recovered from.
I mean, he just bought so much time and money, honestly, for Prince to actually get back into the game and to be a true carry threat. Yes, Cloud9 is in a massively advantageous position. Yes, the Tristana is miles behind, but Jinx can solo carry these games. You can succeed as that solo threat. Sion is going to become a brick wall. You can see that Renekton's not hurting this guy anymore whatsoever. You know, soul or not, you don't want to even play with him.
The Renekton not so hot at this point in the game. Spica's getting locked down. C9 looks for the chance to go after the enemy jungler, and they find him right there. Now Ayla's got to try to escape too, flashing back underneath the turret to the safety of his base. Baron. C9 reinforcing with their top laner and heading over to the Baron, spawning in 3, 2, 1. That's going to be the call.
Yeah, and this is tough. You know, now you have to make that call. Do you try to actually contest? You have no jungler. If you walk in, it could potentially be game ending, but at the same time, if you give it for free, then maybe you're just giving up Elder as well. So I think FlyQuest is going to try to move down towards bot side, maybe get a turret bounty in mid, and try to set up some vision at least for this Elder fight.
I feel like if it was one of your other dudes that gets picked there,
you
can try to flip it, you can go in for another steal, but without Spica, it just feels like a march to death, right? Your chance of stealing that away from Blabber with the smite so low. As you can see, the stopwatch purchase for Blabber here. Randuin's Omen done for both the Sejuani and the Braum on the front line. Fudge working on his here with that Renekton as well. Vikla, oh no. Oh no, run little Tristana. This is not what you're hoping for, bud. He tries to use the Buster shot. It's been a bad game for Vikla, and it's not getting any better. Enemy mid laner picked off. Blabber's gonna face check into 3, but that's a Sejuani, and that's exactly where Sejuani wants to be. Sven coming around from the side, wants to try to cut him off with a Glacial Fissure, but FlyQuest can disengage in time. Problem is, Isaac, it's again a 5v4. It's again an Uber buff out on the Rift, and it's again free for Cloud9.
Yeah, I think Vikla just greeting out, trying to finish his Navori. If I had to guess, he needed just that last wave to get the Navori because he does purchase it on base. That's probably why he got so greedy. But, I mean, it's right before the Elder is spawning, and he didn't have TP. So, like, even if you got out there, you can't actually make the purchase anyway. And now Cloud9 are just going to march it down mid. 5v4, you have Elder, you have Soul. Do they actually look for the end, or do they just look to try to cut all the inhibs? And they are going to march forward. They want to try to close out this series. They want to try to close out this game now.
Look at that turret. It just melts, and now the Elder's ready to go. Prince is down. Ayla's down. FlyQuest have no any way at all chance left of surviving as C9 pushes in, and Spica and Vikla are pushed back into the fountain. Goes M&S, a triple kill back to Berserker. It was number 1 versus number 2, and number 1 let you know exactly how good they are. C9 are going to the finals, and they're going to MSI.
What a series from Cloud9 here today, showcasing their absolute dominance over FlyQuest. You said it, number 1 versus number 2 in more ways than one. This is our number 1, number 2 seed. There's number 1 versus number 2 all pros in a lot of these positions here. And Cloud9 absolutely destroyed them. Berserker and Sven were completely on another level than the FlyQuest bot lane here today. You think back to those Varus games, absolute dominance, even with the mix-up here from FlyQuest. Berserker got 2 solo kills on Prince in this game. When is the last time you have seen a game like that?
Bot gap was huge in all 3 games. The drafts did no favors for FlyQuest in the first 2. And then in mid lane, we had a similar story where the first 2 games, Vikla is being given champions that need time to scale. We get to the 3rd game, he's on Tristana, and we go back to what you saw. Hey, Sejuani's on a ward, he's coming around, and it just ends up opening up a game state where M&S can take things over. Cloud9 had the massive error in the bottom lane that made that game a lot closer than it otherwise would have been, but man, They are absolutely the best team in the LCS after that one. Nobody else seems close.
Yeah.
And FlyQuest is going to have a lot of work to do if they're expecting a rematch in the finals in Raleigh.
I mean, after that, Cloud9 are going into the grand finals as heavy favorites. It doesn't even matter who comes up from the lower bracket. You are betting on Cloud9. I think that's going to be pretty much universal after a series like this. So teams are really going to have to level up, really going to have to step it up if they want to be able to challenge these guys, because they are looking incredible. And sure, you can criticize that bot lane play. That was careless, but there's really not a lot to criticize from this series about Cloud9's play. I think they really executed on an incredibly high level. Their drafts were intelligent. They proved that they were actually flexible. They can go late. They can play for early. They can do different things. And they can look damn good doing it. Their team fighting is really looking strong. Everyone seems to really understand their role in these fights. And I think that was showcased so well in some of the earlier games as well. These fights around Dragon have just been so damn impressive.
And with Cloud9 locking their spot in the finals, a reminder, those finals are going down in North Carolina this upcoming week.
Sir.
And the tickets are live. You can head to Ticketmaster.com right now to get yours before they're all gone. I'm hoping this is as fun as last year's road shows, because those were a blast. Speaking of Raleigh, let's take a look at our schedule for finals weekend. The doors open for FanFest at 11 a.m. Eastern, with the broadcast beginning at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. FanFest last time around was
so good.
A super fun time. Even the teams that weren't competing there at the road show those days, a lot of them showed up. A lot of them brought out different ways to interact with the fans, interact with everybody coming to see it. It was an awesome time, but this was an awesome time for C9, and they made it not last very long. So now we're going to go ahead and hand things back over to the LCS Lounge to close out the day.
Welcome back to the LCS Lounge. We're actually going to be joined by Fudge, Berserker, and Sven after their 3-0 sweep. But first, while we're waiting for them to get here, Dokla is going to break down C9's Herald setup, which is kind of turning a play that wasn't so positive for them into a massive map win.
Yeah, so this play starts where C9 navigates like a really bad scenario where, you know, Berserker is going to get caught out by the hook. You know, maybe Sven should have blocked it, you know, sub cap, whatever. It is what it is. But, you know, Berserker goes down here, and Prince is going to get this wave in and get this base off. So as they do that, they want a base to contest this Rift Herald that's spawning in like 15 seconds. So they have the tempo base on them. And Berserker is going to walk back to lane here. And just want to point out that mid is favorable for C9 side, like just trade-wise. So as Berserker goes bot here, Sven's going to go up for the Rift and try to contest as a 4v4 on top side here, while Berserker stays bot crucially. And he has red-white, so that means he takes the towers really quickly on his own. So FlyQuest is on a timer where they want to do this Rift as soon as they can and have Sion go to ball lane so they can defend this tower and not give like excessive amount of plates here for C9. And C9 navigate the situation really well. They get mid push here, and they still have Renekton here on the top side, who's really strong, has flash, has ult. And even if FlyQuest get the Rift, they play for the ensuing fight after and then just stomp them here, while Berserker is just free farming plays on the bot side. So turning a bad situation into a huge win and just snowball this lead.
Yeah, we'll see. We're actually joined by C9 over at the couch. What do you guys think? How'd you feel about that?
You guys agree with Dokla?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, ADC was like, oh, so good, so good, so good, so good, permanently in comms while it's happening. And then, obviously, everyone knows Aphelios with White Gun just goes bot lane when they go to Herald. And if we somehow fight the Herald and win, it's just GG.
We were actually calling to give, but I wanted to fight because not only was I level 6 and Thresh wasn't, also our chance was really OP and like a scrap at Herald. So I thought that even if we lose the Herald, we can get like a coin flip Herald fight, we can get like a 1-for-1 something, but no matter what happens, as long as it's like not terrible for us, we'll get more plays bot and more golden ADCs, which, let's be real here, the most OP role in the game is ADC.
Berserker.
Yeah. I need to mention this. Welcome to the Verizon postgame interview. We got Sven, Berserker, Fudge. Fast game, fast series, fast day.
Very fast day. I was not expecting it. To be honest, there was a lot of bad scenarios in my head that could have happened today because we played pretty poorly in the CLG series. So I wasn't extremely confident going into the game. Speak for myself. I mean, you're playing against Ayla. It's a bit different, you know?
Oh my God.
I'm playing against Impact.
I meant the CLG series.
What? Am I wrong?
Kind of true.
Yeah. So I'm playing against Impact. He's the best top laner other than me. And we looked pretty bad in the CLG series. So I wasn't extremely confident, but the games were really clean for the most part.
Yeah,
it's pretty fast.
It kind of feels like a rerun of last year's playoffs where we played CLG first. It was like a 3-2. It was like actually a loss for us.
They were the best team against you last playoffs.
Best, right, quote unquote. But then we stomped EG and had to use back-to-back stomps. So it kind of feels like that too. We're like warming up a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
So speaking of this series, there's a ton of focus between you two and the bot lane early on with the Soraka and the Heimerdinger. Was this something that you just love playing? Because you were talking a lot about being like an enchanter, one trick or whatever, and the engage supports and all this stuff, but then you just keep slamming prio champs.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm actually like, I respect him for picking the Rakan after that disaster in the first game. And the game 2 disaster was even worse. So we kind of thought it was going to be Enchanter versus Enchanter in game 3. Thresh was a good pick, I think, by them. But I think like, if you have Varus, you can pick so many champs. Like you can pick Heimerdinger, you can pick Enchanter, you can pick Melee, you can pick whatever you want. So it enables us to pick like a top side in the first 3, while they often pick their duo in first 2, and they still don't win lane, right? So the Rakans do a lot of work to be useful compared to me, who's picking 4-5 and still being good in team fights. Heimer also is annoying with Varus because if you don't buy MR, Heimer's actually kind of strong. You know, Merc threats are kind of like needed against Varus, but he's playing lethality, so it does so much damage with the poke. So it's just a good combo, I think.
So the Go Hospital thing. What's the update on that?
Hey, any you guys going in?
I heard Prince going straight to the infirmary right now. Yeah, they're outside right now.
I mean, so congratulations, you guys are going to MSI.
What is that? Call the ambulance, but not for me. You know the meme?
I don't know.
You don't know the
Honestly,
meme?
I have a hot take.
Okay.
If Prince was in C9, would this series be different? If you and Prince swap team, today's series, it's same, right?
Exactly. Yeah. It's the exact same.
I mean,
Huh? What's the difference?
Okay, if you and Prince swap team, C9 Prince, Fly Berserker, series is same?
you think it's gonna change?
No.
Yeah. I mean,
just C9 3-0, right?
He thought Sven meant that Fly would win 3-2.
I think and it's 3v2. 3-2.
3-2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who win?
She's Fly.
You see? Okay. The gap between you and Prince bigger than all 4 other members?
I mean, I always like most like less fucking English.
It's fine. It's fine.
I love this guy.
Biggest gap? You mean?
Yeah. I mean, like Prince and me like less gap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, at least the least gap is,
that,
yeah. Where's the biggest gap?
Of course he asked the question. Of course he asked the question.
I'm wondering what he thinks.
What do you think? What do you think?
I think mid.
What?
Oh, mid.
Okay.
Honestly, in this series, it kind of was.
Check. Yeah.
M&S played really well.
Support and mid were the biggest gaps like I've seen in my life in this series. Top lane was sort of just whatever the entire series. I mean,
you guys solo kill.
Yeah, but it was like top lane was irrelevant. I'm gonna be honest. Like
that's cap.
If I didn't solo kill him, we would have won the game. If it's bullshit.
Maybe, but you still solo killed him, so you're better than him.
Yeah, but the gap didn't matter.
It's a gap just over here.
Yeah, so no one cares about that gap, man.
So the gap was big, but didn't matter.
Team fight.
I also love that you guys are just like interviewing yourself.
Yeah. I mean, so John, what did you think about it? No.
I don't need to be here. I'm sure you guys
come back. What did you think about the series? Who do you think was the biggest gap in this series?
So Mark and I, through the first 2 games, we're actually going to say Sven should be player of the series.
That's right.
We were trying to gas it up, but as game 3 went on.
Okay, I will say in game 3.
He's playing Braum, man.
I was actually
he played
1v9 in the early game.
Soraka.
Yes, you were.
Actually not. I didn't block the hook bot.
So
he almost mentally lost the game right there because he died one time. But the Herald fight was all me. So I'm kind of goated for that.
I agree.
My teammates are like, no, guys, we can't fight. We can fucking fight. Let's go.
I'm
playing Braum, I have Tabis, I have conditioning, power
guys,
spike.
if we just trade, it's fine. Just let it get plays. We don't need to fight. And then
I actually said in the game that after he died, I'll get level 6 on his wave and run to Herald and we just fight.
Yeah.
Okay, we have highlights from game 3. I want to hear some of your thoughts. Well, one of our monitors went out, so you'll have to watch out the screen.
All right.
So I did have a question. Did you guys feel like they tilted at all in game 3? Because it felt like it was back and forth, and then they got that fight where Prince got a triple kill, I think on the second Herald. And I was like, oh, that's huge for the Jinx. They might win this game. And then immediately he died, and they just kept doing what felt like really troll stuff. Like Vikla turned into Malphite in that one fight that killed Berserker Baron.
That was disgusting.
I was like, if this team was playing like if it was like their mentality in game 1, in the game 3 game, maybe they don't win it, but at least would be closer, right?
Yeah, I think it would be a much closer game. I mean,
because they thought they could win this series, they might have tilted. But if they were a team like CLG, being down 2-0 doesn't matter because now you have nothing to lose, right?
Damn.
But FlyQuest thought they could win the series, which is where the problem comes. And now they're tilted because they aren't winning anymore, right? So I think the Victor guy kind of injured in the last game. He was definitely not playing well. Like, also his items like Merc, Dragon Slayer to like 2 items silence.
On the stopwatch.
Did you mean to block the hook with Aphelios turret?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
No. Pretty sure. What is pretty sure me?
Never asked
Absolutely not.
Just ask him like, what's the top here?
Oh, my champ's so useless, by the way. All I do is push and fight Harold.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was the Baron steal. We don't have Blabber here to complain, but
This is called a C9 Baron.
This is a classic.
We start Baron with a massive gold lead, and then we give them into a coin flip for no reason, even though we cannot do it. It's called the Flower Baron.
Yeah, we call this Blabber Anger.
There goes my hero. He just goes flying in. I thought after they got the Baron steal, they just back out maybe, but...
Yeah, they also used Brown Me for movement speed instead of using to block, auto attacks. So I just died one shot, Signaled. Maybe not the best move. But no one saw that, I guess.
partially because of that, Berserker is your player of the series right here. Congratulations, Berserker.
Ooh.
Look at that stats game.
Look at that scoreline.
He has the best team. Like, his team is just winning. If it was Prince, by the way, he'd be player of the series.
I don't disagree that he does have a good team around him. You did just 3-0 FlyQuest. You're going to be alone in the winner's bracket final. But Berserker, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, ADC's weak.
I deserve it.
Who would you guys... you deserve it.
God knows he's wrong.
Who would you give it to if not yourself?
Sven.
Who would get player of the series if not you?
I mean...
He will say not me because he wants my ego to be in check.
Yeah.
I think MNS.
Yeah.
Like MNS.
Yeah, I agree.
Like last series, he every game almost 10 deaths, right? But this game, he got our course and I told MNS Rakan go mid, but he okay and don't die. He's really improved. Yeah,
it's a huge improvement.
Really,
it doesn't sound like a big improvement, but it's a huge improvement.
Yeah, I'm really proud.
Okay, Berserker, the last time you were in finals, you won. You guys are in finals again. 3 more games until you're the champions. But you also did this. You're running around the arena.
Cringe.
Cringe. I was going to ask, if you win again, would you do something similar, or was this a one-time thing?
I have an idea. You like play it like Aphelios, you get 2 trophies, and you like switch. Like you switch the trophies.
But I need more monster.
Yeah, you don't need 5 trophies. They're very heavy. They're very heavy.
Yeah.
So.
The Berserker walk around the arena with a trophy was my move. I did it first, but no one cares. This is clear proof. There's a narrative and it's against me to never give me credit for anything.
Yeah.
When did you do it? Was
I walked around with a trophy and just waved to people like
Did
this.
you run though?
Yeah.
He didn't run.
You don't have enough hair. I think that's the.
I didn't know that.
Yo! Whoa! What the
fuck? Look at the hair gap.
What's going on?
Whoa,
He's got
bro!
like this nice
caught it straight for no reason, bro.
Around. He doesn't have bad hair.
I came in here to stroke my own ego, not to get attacked personally.
I meant volume of hair, not like quality. I meant quantity
of hair. This is messed up, man. I'm done.
Okay, Sven, question for you. We got the bracket. You guys are obviously in the final. We got 3 teams left. Is it EG that you're going to find in the finals? They're going to win 2 best of 5s in a row?
Yeah.
They win 3 in a row?
I think, what? Wait, what did you say?
He said, are they going to win 3 in a row is what he asked.
You think he's going to answer?
Hold up. No, I think EG against Golden Gun is going to be a slaughter. Like, EG's going to stomp them. Okay. And I think Fly EG is going to be closer than you think. Depends how well EG prepare for Fly. But I think the finals will be a 3-0 or 3-1. Might drop a game to a Blabber Baron.
Yeah, definitely.
The Blabber Baron. I feel like we haven't seen that much on stage of the Blabber Baron.
Does it happen
more
more
a scrim thing?
I mean, it's definitely in scrim. So I mean,
it's just like hitting the objective when you don't have to, when you just play for control. So your opponent has to walk in and just die to like using singing bush. He's like, all right, guys, we have 4 items Aphelios. They have 3 items Jinx. Go Baron. Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, one other question for you guys, because you're content machines and we have an EG game tomorrow. Can you elaborate on what EG does better than the other teams and why they would be in the finals?
Who wants the honor?
Go ahead.
Berserker, what is
I didn't understand.
For me, I play against Someday, and I
EG?
don't think he's that good. So, but the rest of the team, I think, is pretty good.
Why is EG better than Golden Guardians?
Golden Guardians.
Yeah.
Yeah. Golden Guardians? Stixxay, Hui,
I mean,
Gory.
I forgot that team. But anyway.
Yeah, that's in playoffs.
EG versus GG? I think Inspired just GOAT. That's true. Yeah, that's true.
But River is not bad, no?
That's true, though. He's GOAT, but Inspired more GOAT.
Inspired more GOAT than River GOAT.
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
What about ball then?
I mean, bottom doesn't matter.
Mid?
Doesn't matter.
What about top?
It's that simple. The jungle role sounds quite weak this patch.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, thank you very much. Congratulations on being in the finals. I can't wait to see the grand finals on Sunday. That's doing it for us. Closer is joining the broadcast tomorrow for Golden Guardians versus EG. That's 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 Eastern. We will see you then.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Let's go.
You guys are filming something after this again, by the way.
All right, let's get this underway. Cloud9 and FlyQuest. Winner automatically finds themselves in the finals in North Carolina here next weekend and punches a ticket to MSI.
MS talk? Bad. Talk some more. Bad. Can you be useful? MS vocabulary.
MVP punch. Labber's a little bit low, but he just wants to go in on Prince instead. He knows he's likely to die, so why not take somebody with him? It's first blood over to M&S, and Blabber finally drops in response, but Prince has been taken out too. Impact and Ayla both critically low, and C9 are not willing to let him get away. Speak is their next target, as Prince is jumped on, and Blabber's ready to put these guys in the dirt. Prince ain't gonna pentakill that. C9, ace for nothing. Please join me in giving a big welcome to Big Dokes joining us here for the TriCast in Game 2. FlyQuest still trying to find a way to enter into the fight as Ayla makes his way into the back line, and now M&S has to flash away from the event horizon. They go in, and Blabber's going to be killed off first. FlyQuest are going to contest the Drake, and it does go their way. Now Speak is taken over the wall, and Fudge goes all out. Impact looks for a little bit more damage to take him back, then he's going to find him and find the engage on their opponents. Stop him, Ayla, don't see you later. All right, I don't even think you need Baron at this point. FlyQuest kept it closer than they did in game number 1, but C9 is a war machine here in this winner's bracket final. Cloud9 clears out Vikla, back in mid lane. Berserker's just gonna 1v2 him. He does find both. Holy hell, he's good.
They want to try to close out this series. They want to try to close out this game now.
Look at that turret. It just melts, and now the Elder's ready to go. Prince is down. Ayla's down. FlyQuest have any way at all chance left of surviving as C9 pushes in, and Spica and Vikla are pushed back. Into the fountain goes M&S. A triple kill back to Berserker. It was number 1 versus number 2, and number 1 let you know exactly how good they are.